Okay, so this is question 10 from the textbook on page 31, lesson 4 on rectangular surface area of rectangular prisms or composite objects of rectangular prisms. So, yeah, this is a fairly involved question. There's lots of pieces going on here. All right, so let's take a look. A garage has the dimensions shown. The attached shed has the same height as the garage, but is 1/2 as long and 1/2 as wide. So right away, I'm just going to label those so I have them. So this is half as wide as that. So I'm going to put it as 2.5. And this guy here is going to be, what is it? 3.9. 3.9. Okay, so I'm going to write those in so I have them. Cool. And I'm supposed to find the surface area of this building. Okay, so I am going to have my surface area of let's do the main building. So let's call that MB. The main building is going to be my roof, which has dimensions 7.8 and 5.0. Okay. And if I was to multiply those, I would get 39. Okay. Plus, I have the sides. Let's do the sides of the building next. So they're going to look something like that. And it's going to have dimensions 3.8 and 7.8. And there's going to be 2 of those. Okay, so to do both sides. So that's going to be 29.64. Okay, plus I'm going to have 2 of the ones with the front and back rectangle. Okay, so that one is going to be to have dimensions once again 3.8, and my length this time is going to be 5. So that's going to be 19. Okay, so then I can go ahead and calculate. It's going to be 39 plus 2 times 29.64. Oops, that's a 4. 4. Okay, plus 2 times 19. Okay, so my total surface area of the main building would be 136.28. Cool. So I've got the one building done. Now I need to figure out the surface area of the shed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and figure that out. So the shed, okay, my roof is going to be 3.9 and 2.5, which ends up being 9.75. So that's the top. I'm going to put a T on that for the top. Maybe I'll put a T on this for the top too, just so that it's clear. And then I'm going to add 2 of the fronts. Okay, so that's going to look like, so 3.9 and the height of the building is 3.8. Okay, so right there, the height of the building. So now, notice how I picked 2, and I did that because I recognize that it's the other side is going to be subtracted later, but I just wanted to be sure that I've just done the whole object, and then I'm going to subtract it later because there's going to be a portion of this main building that will also need to be subtracted. So it's up to you when you do it, but you just got to keep track of it. So I like to just do the whole surface area and then at the end subtract it. Okay, so this ends up being 14.82 when I multiply it, and then I'm going to add 2 more, and that's the side of the shed, which will be the same height, 3.8, and the 2.5 width. Okay, so when I multiply that, I am going to get 9.5 for that. All right, so now I can go ahead and calculate that, and it ends up being 9.75 plus 2, 14.82 plus 2, 9.5. So I end up with 58.39. Okay, so I'm going to scooch this down slightly. Okay, so I have a bit more room. So now I'm going to figure out the surface area of my composite object. So the whole thing. Okay, so that guy, I'm going to go take my height of the surface area of the main building, and I'm going to add the 39. And then I'm going to be subtracting. Oh, that was a really long subtract. So subtracting that, this section here, that's kind of where that square that is kind of behind there. Okay, so the other side of the shed. And there's going to be 2 of those, the one that's attached to the shed and the one that's attached to the main building. So I'm going to be 14.82. I'm going to be subtracting that. Okay, which ends up getting me 165.03. Okay, so that's great. So I am good, and that is meters squared. So that's the question, the answer to part A. Okay, but then in part B, I'm going to just scooch it over this way a little bit after I read the question. Part B is going to be over here. Okay, and so this says that the vinyl siding costs $15 meters squared per meter squared. The doors, windows, and roof will not be covered, and obviously the ceiling will also not be covered. So how much will it cost to cover this building with siding? Because siding is only on the sides. All right, so for that, we need to take our 165.03 and we're going to minus the door, which is 2 by 3. So that's going to be 6 in there. We're going to minus the other door, which is a 1 by 2. So that's going to be 2 that we're subtracting. And then we're going to minus the little itty bitty window, which is a 1 by 1, which is just 1. Okay. Plus, I'm also going to be subtracting the 2 roofs, which are 39 and 9.75. Okay. So that's why I put those tops on there, right? To remember that that's my top. Okay, so I'm going to be subtracting that. When I do that, this is my new surface area. Okay, and that's going to be, that's going to be 107.28. And then I have to figure out the cost. So I'm going to take that and multiply it by 15, which would give me 1,609.2. That's how much it's going to cost dollars. Okay. So then I would write a sentence being the siding would cost 1,609.2. Okay. So that is that's part B. Okay. I hope that makes a bit more sense. All right. Good luck.